JBN, we keep you informed. Church leader charged with 7 counts of rape in Hanover. A man identified as a church leader is to appear before the Hanover Parish Court on Tuesday after he was charged with 7 counts of rape by the Hanover police. The police here was arrested on Monday by a patrol team after being observed beating a child in Barnes Lane in the Montpelier community in Sandy Bay. The police say after conducting follow-up inquiries, the sexual misconduct allegations came to the fore, and detectives from the Hanover Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse were called in to bolster the investigative team. According to the police, investigations turned up several allegations of sexual misconduct concerning children in the community. After collecting several statements, the man was subsequently charged by the police. Investigators are now appealing to persons who may have been victims of the man or who may have any information that can assist them to contact the Hanover Sissoko at 876-953-5312 or 956-2304, Police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. Cops find a stolen gun in Grand Spend rubbish. The Constant Spring police are probing the circumstances surrounding the seizure of a 12-gauge shotgun that was reportedly found in a garbage pile in the Grand Spend community on Wednesday night. According to information received, the gun was reported stolen from the nearby home of a gun owner a few hours prior. Following strong leads, the weapon was found on Grand Spend Drive, Constant Spring in St. Andrew. Reports from the police are that about 8 p.m., a team carried out an operation in the community during which the weapon was discovered in a plastic bag. No one was taken into custody in connection with the find. A resident of Grand Spend Drive said, "The police them do them work. As a law-abiding resident, I am glad it was found. Stolen gun normally lead to destruction, and trust me, this community can't manage that right now." Head of the St. Andrew North Police Superintendent Leighton Gray could not be reached for a comment. The Police Corporate Communications Unit has confirmed the report and said that an investigation is ongoing. Old Arbor father allegedly kills 22-year-old man for having sexual relations with his 13-year-old daughter. A man from Old Arbor St. Catherine, who has been on the run for almost 6 months, has been charged with murder after he allegedly killed another man who was reportedly having sexual relations with his 13-year-old daughter. Dead is 22-year-old construction worker Ronaldo Reynolds, otherwise called Don Don from Old Arbor St. Catherine. Charged with his murders, 36-year-old upholsterer Dennis McLean, also from Old Arbor in the parish. Reports are that McLean's 13-year-old daughter allegedly complained to her father that Reynolds was having sex with her. On July 19 this year, McLean reportedly got a knife and went to the home of Reynolds, where he stabbed him to death. McLean then reportedly fled the community. He evaded capture from the police for 6 months, but McLean was eventually caught following an operation in the churchman community of Old Arbor. McLean was charged following a question and answer session. Murdered PNP Patriots activist may have known killer. Law enforcement authorities have refuted claims that political activist Kevin Brown was pulled from his car and shot on Wednesday night along Chesterfield Drive in the western St. Andrew community of Seaview Gardens. The police suspect that the 44-year-old information technology professional of McIntyre Villa was assaulted inside his motor vehicle. It is believed that he may have known his attacker or attackers. Senior Superintendent Steve McGregor is in charge of operations for Area 4 and was a recent standout for Divisional Commander Superintendent Wayne Cameron in St. Andrew South, shed light on the investigations yesterday. The information we have doesn't support that he was dragged from the vehicle and shot. Preliminary reports are that an incident happened in the vehicle and he ran from the vehicle. His body has stab wounds. We're hearing about shots, but it's more puncture wounds. More investigations are being done. McGregor said that while the police were aware of attacks on motorists along Chesterfield Drive, those reports, based on preliminary investigations, have no relation to Brown's murder. There were some extortion activities because there's an area where motorists have to slow down. Police have been placed there over time, said McGregor. The police reported that about 8:40 p.m., residents heard someone running and screaming for help. On their arrival, the police said that Brown, who was a Justice of the Peace and a founding member of the People's National Party Patriots Movement, was seen suffering from what appeared to be flesh wounds. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Reacting to the news, Patriots President Omar Newell said that the organization has lost a friend and a promising young Jamaican. Kevin was instrumental in the formation of the Patriots. We're losing too many of our bright young minds to crime and violence. This is our second tragic loss this year, said Newell in a statement. He noted that Patriots member Sasha Gay Fairclough, an attorney at law, was murdered while traveling in a motor car in Ochireya, St. Anne on September 13. While expressing deep regret at Brown's murder, Newell called for the government to take strong action to quell the country's crime wave. The organization has taken note that both members were murdered in areas outside of states of emergency. These areas do not seem to be covered by the government's apparent policy for crime prevention. A comprehensive approach is needed that takes into consideration every Jamaican and every community in Jamaica, Newell said. Two charged over stabbing at St. Thomas gas station. Two men have been charged by the police in relation to a shooting incident at a gas station in Seaforth, St. Thomas. 20-year-old Ronell Porter, otherwise called Pooh, and 20-year-old Tafari Wheeler, both of School Lane, Seaforth in the parish, were charged on Wednesday with wounding with intent. A court date is to be set. The Morant Bay Police report that on Monday, December 2, about 5 p.m., Porter and Wheeler, along with two other suspects, attacked a 19-year-old man at a gas station. The police further said that during the attack, Porter and Wheeler held the man while the other two suspects stabbed him in the upper body with a knife. The injured man was assisted to the hospital where he was admitted in serious but stable condition. 25-year-old farmer reportedly confesses to killing 91-year-old man. A man has reportedly confessed to murder in relation to the killing of a 91-year-old man from St. Anne last week. 25-year-old farmer Andre Campbell, otherwise called Speedy, has been charged with murder. He is from K Valley in St. Anne. Campbell is charged with the murder of 91-year-old Zoinel Anson. Reports from the police are last Thursday morning Mr. Anson's daughter went to his house after failing to reach him by phone. Mr. Anson's daughter reportedly discovered his body in a pool of blood on his bed. Mr. Anson reportedly had chop wounds to his neck and right hand. Acting on information, the police say Campbell was taken into custody. During a search of his home, partially burnt clothes were found with what appeared to be blood stains. According to the police, Campbell confessed to the murder during a question and answer session. Prosecution and defense battle over amendments in the MMC fraud trial. Tempers rose in the Poor's Court on Thursday as prosecutors and the defense in the Manchester Municipal Corporation multi-million-dollar fraud trial sparred over a bid to adjust the indictment following applications made 2 weeks ago. Defense attorneys described the prosecutors' action as prejudicial and unfair to their clients and objected the move. The court has to look at the injustice that may result from these amendments, charged Attorney at Law Norman Godfrey, who represents former Deputy Superintendent of Roads and Works at the then Manchester Parish Council Sanjay Elliott, his wife Tashage Goldburn Elliott, and his caretaker Dwayne Sibley's. In making a response to the first application for amendments, Godfrey pointed out that the prosecution was initially confined to the period of investigation 2013 to 2016 and could not now include the year 2011 in one of the counts in question. Godfrey also said that the application for a new count in relation to Sibley's regarding the alleged fraudulent encashment of a check bore no weight, as there were no indication that the transaction was done by Sibley's. While the prosecution maintained that the law did not preclude them from making amendments at any time before the sentencing, Presiding Judge Anne-Marie Granger said she was perturbed by the applications. After a review of the evidence, Granger ruled that the substance of the Crown's case remained and that the amendments would not cause injustice. The amendments to counts 10, 11, 12, and 13 and the removal of count 19 were granted. However, the applications to add a count in relation to Sibley's and the amendment to count 27 were denied. The trial, which began in June of this year, will continue in the Poor's Court on January 6, 2020. Chang calls for more nightclubs. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang has called on business persons to build more clubs and retrofit old warehouse spaces to host entertainment events. Under the Noise Abatement Act, clubs are permitted to operate until 4 a.m. However, open-air events are restricted to 12 a.m., shut-off time during the week, and 2 a.m. on weekends. The House of Representatives on Tuesday voted to extend the shut-off time to 2 a.m. on weekdays and 4 a.m. on weekends during the holiday season. Chang said that the government would undertake a comprehensive review of the 1997 law next year. The review will include looking at the shut-off times for events, as well as considering sound level restrictions. Under the current law, sounds should not be heard beyond a distance of 100 meters from source. The minister said that sound system operators should hire sound technicians and invest in technology to ensure the sound from their events does not become a nuisance to others. At the same time, he said persons should seek to return entertainment venues to indoor facilities. We need to see a return of persons in entertainment investing in clubs, the minister said. The 1 and 2 clubs now around operates on a different basis. Patrons are going to the clubs in the evenings to have dinner, gamble, and stay until midnight, down to ribbies, and then come uptown and wake up everybody. That is not acceptable. As we look towards a fulsome review of the Noise Abatement Act, I urge event organizers, industry leaders, and practitioners to consider reverting to the model of indoor entertainment as happens in many international venues, Chang said. The minister noted that many of the events to which Jamaicans travel to perform overseas take place in clubs, some of which are retrofitted warehouses. We need some of that in Jamaica. The big business people in Jamaica must invest in the business. We need to see more people investing in clubs, Chang said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.